So let me tell you what I'm seeing here. Just this is not an official, in-depth whatever analysis, but I just find it easier to talk it through on camera than to try and like write a big long response on the forum. So you've got a big dropout here. I don't know why. It's really odd that you've got this dropout with data flash. Data flash should have more than enough bandwidth, so that's pretty strange, and I can't really explain that. But there you go. Got a big dropout. Fine. So here we come back into your log. Sticks are centered, and PIDs are near zero. Everything, or sorry, PIDs are near zero. Gyros are near zero. This is all pretty normal, pretty nominal. Motors are all just doing their thing. Right here, the copter begins to yaw because you have, oh, I should bring RC command up. Hang on. That's a good idea. I wish I put RC command on top, but I'm not going to go back and change everything. Copter begins to yaw. You know what? I'm just going to look at your sticks. That's too many graphs. Copter begins to yaw because you're yawing left. Gyro shows that you're yawing left. PID sum is near zero. All fine, all fine. Yaw PID sum begins to go negative. Gyros are near zero. Sticks are centered. Yaw PID sum is still pretty negative. If we go earlier in the trace, what do we see? Here the sticks are reasonably centered. Gyro PID sum is slightly negative. Slightly negative. It looks like your gyro PID sum is normally slightly negative. That's going to be your I term compensating for some bias. That's nothing wrong with that. We just want to establish where the baseline is. It just means like one of your props is biting more than the other. Doesn't mean anything. But here it goes more negative. Yaw PID sum goes more negative. Sticks are centered. Gyros are zeroed. Copter's not turning. And then right here, everything goes to hell. What happens here? Roll, gyro flips out. Okay, so you input a roll here. Fine. So everything doesn't go to hell. No, you just have you're doing a roll. Uh, Lots of spiking here in your P term. Actually, I don't know that it's your P term, but your roll PID sum. We'll look at that in a minute. Lots of spiking. My guess is it's your P term, could be your D term. Motors are flipping out due to the spiking. That could just be D term kick, although it doesn't feel like it. But we'll see. Here's D. This looks like D term kick. That does. Here we're ending the move. The move ends. Still lots of activity in the motors. The motors are really the purple motor. That's your front left is zeroing out like crazy. So this is very interesting. Your front right motor goes to full. And normally ending a right roll, we would expect both the front right and the back right motors to go to full, but they don't. Just the front right motor. All the other motors are zeroed. So what's happening here is, and let's look at your PIDs. All of your PIDs are now negative. So the copter is trying, we could just infer, it's trying to pitch back, roll left, and yaw. Which way is positive yaw? Positive yaw is left, so negative yaw is right. It's trying to yaw right. That motor stays maxed, and the PIDs continue to fall, especially the yaw PIDs. I'm not really sure how you're flying here. I don't think you're really flying here. I think you're tumbling, possibly. It does look like here you drop the throttle. You're inputting stick probably to counteract the roll. You're trying to get your control back, maybe. Now you come back in. So this must be the out of control period you're talking about. What can we take from this? The copter was tumbling. It was rolling right. It was pitching forward, and it was yawing right. And the motor was brought to full, and it did not control that. So you exceeded your control authority, but probably that is not because you were doing such an extreme maneuver that you exceed. It would be really unusual to see you exceed your roll authority on 3 axes simultaneously. So we can see that all 3 PIDs are negative and falling, which means not only is means your error is growing, and your error, none of the 3 axes are controlling their error. And that's really unusual. That's not like you're doing some crazy maneuver where you exceeded your authority. If you're doing a tight turn with roll and yaw at the same time, you might exceed the authority on the yaw axis, but not the roll or the pitch axis. And the copter might still do something untoward. But this feels like a mechanical problem. My best guess is you have a loose prop, that your front right prop nut is loose and your prop is slipping. And what makes me think that is that we see the yaw term start to go negative. It goes increasingly negative, meaning that more thrust is being required from that front right motor to keep the copter from yawing. And then after you do this move, where did it flip out? Where did it flip out? Sorry, I lost my place. Here. Yeah, then after you do this move during the hard spin up to try to arrest the roll, it lost it. And then I did it just somehow spontaneously tighten again. I don't know about that. That's pretty weird. But yeah, that's what I can tell you is during this period of time, the reason you've lost control is because the copter has absolutely no control authority left to do anything but it's already trying as hard as it can to stop the copter from rolling right, pitching forward, and yawing right. And it can. And so you have no control authority left to do anything else, no matter what you do with your sticks, except in theory you could push your stick, you could roll right and pitch forward, in which case it would be like, oh great, we're already doing that anyway. But no, that's not what you want. That's why you've lost control. So then the question is, why is this front right motor failing to produce enough thrust to arrest the move? And my best guess is a loose prop. But that's far from a confident guess. That's what I have to tell you. All right, hope that's helpful. Bye-bye.